I was surprised to see the doctor at the garage yard that evening. He pulled up in his motorbike by Mr. Swoon's house. The sun had set behind the roof line and only a thin stripe of gold lay in the western sky. The yard floodlights threw long double shadows across the yard. The doctor walked across, swinging his hip, his thumbs hooked in his back pockets. Mr. Stone put his head up from the hood of his car and could see Mr. Stone watching from her window. I glanced at Kim and put my cloth back in the bucket and stepped away from his father's car. I didn't want the doctor to think I was earning money for Mr. Stone, too. A man from one of the logging trucks jumped from the cab to meet the doctor. I recognized him from the lodging station, where I had gone with Pa to trade bush meat with the workers. He was a big man with a tiger tattoo on his shoulder and greased back hair. I stepped back into the shadows and watched them deep in talk. I could see the doctor shake his head and turn to walk away. He walked slowly, kicking up the dust in his heels. The driver called him back and spoke some more and turned to his truck. The doctor looked at me in the shadows. "Mountain boy," he yelled. "Over here!" I glanced at Kim. I hadn't thought the doctor had seen me here. I wiped my hands on my shorts and walked away across the yard. The doctor paced in circles. "Help them get the crate," he barked. I followed the driver and crouched with him beneath the truck. Beneath the huge wheels, a small wooden crate was fixed to the underside of the truck with metal brackets. The driver pulled out the crate and I helped him slide it across the ground to rest in front of the doctor. The doctor put his hands on his hips and kicked the crate. "Open it." The truck driver slid the top of the crate to the side and we all peered in. Even Cam had buckled up courage to come and look. At first all I could see was a bundle of old towels and a few chunks of squashed banana. The towel squirmed and moved, and something was beneath them. The towel was stained with a yellowish, stinking liquid. I covered my nose to hide the smell. A small black paw poked out from the towel. A dog? A puppy? The truck driver pulled the towel away and dumped them on the ground beneath him, but I couldn't take my eyes off the creature inside. It was almost puppy-like, but too big to be one of the village pups of home. It was curled up with fine black hair covering the folds of the skin across its body, folds of skin it would have to grow into. Its nose and mouth were soft and pink. Its short, chunky legs ended in a large paw with fine, needle-like claws. The pads were soft and hairless and creased and pink. It wasn't a puppy at all. The doctor reached in and pulled out one of the paws to turn the creature over, showing the crescent of the white fur of its chest. I sank down on my knees and held on to the side of my crate. It was a moon bear cub. The bear cub I'd seen in the mountains. It had grown since I'd seen it, but it had the whole of the white hair that looked just like the evening star. This was the moon cub from home. It lay in its own filth, pasted yellow diarrhea stuck to the fur around its bottom. This cub hadn't gone away. I wondered what had happened to its mother. The doctor kicked the crate again. "I don't want it," he said. "It's sick. It's too young." The cub meowed softly and tried to push itself against the bare wood slats of the crate, but it seemed too weak to stand. "It'll be a strong bear one day," said the truck driver. "Look, it's a male bear." "It'll be dead by morning," said the doctor. The driver pointed at the banana. "It's just hungry. See, he hasn't eaten. Maybe he'll take some rice." The doctor stared at the cub. "How long has it been away from its mother?" said the doctor. "One day, maybe two," said the driver. "The trappers found it wandering alone on the road." The doctor snorted at its lies. "This one will bring you good luck and great fortune," said the driver. The doctor curled his lips. "Good luck?" The driver nodded. "They called it. The trapper called it Suidui. They said this bear would bring great luck to whoever owned it. This would have been better luck if you brought me the mother. I had paid double for her. Who'd you sell her to?" The driver picked up the towels and threw him back into the crate. "If you're not interested..." The doctor rubbed his chin. Then we'll have someone else who wants to buy this bear. The doctor reached into his back pocket and pulled out a fist of bills. Half price, he said, holding up the money. My father wouldn't want to hear you were selling me sick bears, would he? The driver glared at the doctor and the box. The bear cub pawed at the damp towels. A trickle of yellow diarrhea stained with blood dribbled out of his tail. Okay, said the doctor. He snatched the money from the doctor. Half price, but only for you. The doctor gave me a shove. Pick up the bear. I looked at him. Pick it up. I crouched down to look at the bear. How do you pick up a bear? He had grown since I'd seen him in the bear den. Did he have teeth at this age? His back end was matted and stained like the urinals back home when the sickness had swept through the village. I reached in behind his neck and grabbed the folds of his skin. The cub twisted and squirmed. He squealed and opened his jaw, but I could see his teeth were tiny, needle-sharp bumps poking through the gums. I could see the suckling groove in his upper lip. This cub was still feeding from his mother. I lifted him up, scruffle of the neck, and wrapped in one of the dirty towels. The driver took the crate and swung it in the truck, turned his back to us. The doctor looked at the cub in my arms. He took his hand on his nose to hide the smell. Take him back to the farm and give him food and water. He can have Mama Bear's cage. Yes, doctor, I said. I turned around. Cam and his family had come back to look at the cub, too. I walked with the doctor across the yard. When he reached his motorbike, he stopped. The mountain boy. I turned. The doctor swung his leg across the bike and pulled on his leather gloves. Don't let it die. If it dies tonight, you can pack your bags and go. I watched the doctor reeve the engine and spun out in the yard. Cam and his brother stood behind me. Mrs. Song glared at her husband. I thought we said no more bears in this yard. Mr. Stone shrugged. What can I do? Anyways, look, it was only a small one. Miss Stone flapped her arms at me. Take it away. I don't want bears here, understand? The cub was struggling in the towel. I walked past them and crossed the road, glad it wasn't busy. I unlocked the gates, pulled open the swing doors, and switched on the lights. Sweet. Sorry, guys, I can't say that right. I said. I held the cub with arm's length by the scruff of its neck. Sweetie, I hope you live up to your name. The cub paws paddled the air. I couldn't lose my job. I had to send my money back to Mom. I couldn't bear to let this cub die. I needed all the luck I could get.